Yeah, I didn't do anything with barbecue.
Okay.
I just hot dogs. I don't know if this is an order, I'm not sure exactly what this is referring to, or I think this one at the bottom is, oh my god, this is absolutely big, ridiculous, they would freak out. That, do you remember when I told you, like, I was always kind of like incorporated kids and stuff, I mean, even if it wasn't like directly like me and him, but just, like, I was always thinking cute stuff when I'd see stuff, and I was like, oh my god, little girl would like that, I would show him, and I found this box of Lucky Charms that was unicorn Lucky Charms,
Okay.
and I thought they were really cute, and I texted it to him, and I was like, do your little girls know about these, because they're awesome, and I was like, little stuff like that, and I don't think that that's the 13th, because I don't think I talked to him that day, what day was the 13th, I can't remember.
Monday.
Was it Monday?
Yeah.
Wait, Bella. Bella, let her. Bella. Let CeCe go, please. CeCe, squat run. Squat run. Squat run. No, not squat. Look, CeCe. Look at mommy. CeCe. CeCe. The left.
I'm wondering if that's where that came from.
So Charlotte is your friend, she's your closest friend. You guys had this conversation, but it never went anywhere besides her. You never mentioned it to Chris. You never said anything about your kids, or his kids, pardon me, damaging your guys' relationship.
No.
Or
On August 12th, according to phone records, Miss Kessinger tells her friend Charlotte about Watts for the first and only time. The next day, on August 13th, Chris Watts' family disappears, never to be seen again.
Never. And I mean, even in that, it wasn't like I never said his kids were a problem. It's just like he already has a life. I don't know about
right.
that.
So in light of what's occurred, though, what I'm trying to make sure is that there was never a conversation that you guys had that he might have thought that you were saying, I can't be with you if you have kids.
I wouldn't be with him if I couldn't.
Okay. So I'm just making 100% sure that those.
I promise you.
Okay.
Like, well, I really want you to pull these texts because all the stuff I've been telling you will think of.
And I hope we can. I haven't been very lucky with your partnership.
Any of this was because she put it in your head or asked you to, or
she never. I mean, this whole relationship contributed to it.
Sure,
but she didn't want you to.
I mean, was it ever like, I wish you didn't have kids, I want to have, kids of my own with you, like?
She never knew if she wanted to have kids, but she said that, at one point she said, I'd like to give you a son.
Did she know that Shanann was pregnant with a boy?
No.
Did she know Shanann was pregnant?
No.
And why is that? You just didn't tell her?
I didn't know, because we had met.
But Shanann put that on Facebook.
That's
how did she not see that?
I don't know. Maybe she did. She just waited for me to tell her, or she put it out of her head.
On July 14th, Shanann posted this picture to Facebook. Bought baby Watts first outfit. July 14th is the same day Miss Kessinger and Watts went to the Mustang Museum and returned to his house, where Miss Kessinger saw a picture of Shanann and one of the girls. She reports that she then tried to convince him to stay with his wife, but he reports she went a little ballistic. It's that same day Miss Kessinger told Watts she'd like to give him his first son.
They have some stuff. Yeah, I mean, they have to. They can just, but yeah, no.
Thank you so much for coming out here with me, Christopher. I am having a wonderful time. You mean a lot to me, and I'm glad that you're having a blast. I am so out of breath. Hi. It's me. I guess just call me back when you have a chance. Hi. Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back. Bye.
You guys hear me now? Okay, you guys hear me now? All right, can you guys hear me now? Okay, very good. All right, so this is without a mic, so I hope the sound comes through okay. So with some new channel announcements just to start, first of all, I got a bunch of fancy new stuff to make the live streams better, and the regular content uploads better, including a new microphone, but I left it at work, so I can't use it tonight. I was so excited to use it, but there it is at work. Here I am at home next time. Okay, so coming up, hi True Tam, how are you doing, honey? And everybody else, welcome. Hi Ara, hi Midge, hi Maggie, hi I1, all of you guys. Hi. I want to get right to it, but I love y'all, and I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you so much for being here. So moving forward, I want to start a somewhat regular schedule with live streams and when you can anticipate uploads. So the really good news is for members and member content, because I'm going to be honest, since I started this channel, memberships were really just, I did some members only content occasionally. I think probably the most of it pertain or as it relates to the Idaho 4 case, because I had those contacts that are close friends with Ethan Chapin. So I had some exclusive things that they had sent me that I put up there. But I haven't really been active in the members only, kind of aspect of things with this channel. So I want to change that because I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys who have signed up for membership. So starting on Thursday evenings at 9 o'clock, we're going to have a members only live stream, and that's going to start this Thursday. And then I'll be doing a members only upload every week. So please look forward to that. A lot of it is going to have to do with the Watts content because I have a lot of things that I would like to put out there to all you guys, but I have a lot of things that I have held on to for this long and haven't put out there because A, I'm afraid of the reaction, quite honestly, or the backlash, or B, I, for my own moral, ethical reasons, don't necessarily feel comfortable putting it out there to all of the world without any parameters attached due to the nature of the content. So does that make sense? And then we're going to go back to every Friday evening, doing a whole channel, everyone's welcome live stream. So kind of the idea is we'll do members only Thursday night. And if you guys have some things you would like addressed or you'd like me to look deeper into that we can maybe cover in the all channel live stream on Friday night, that'll probably work well. So, a lot of times it won't be limited to just the Thursday members only live stream and Friday all channel live stream. I hope to be doing, some things in between them too, but I just want to have something that you guys can kind of rely on. Oh, hey, thanks. More candy. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thanks for being here and supporting the channel. So I just want to start things up that way. Now I had announced that I was going to do a cash drawing tonight, and this is just, from the channel saying thank you guys so much for being here and for supporting the channel and for all that you do. I think it's really good to give back every time, people give you their time and energy. Isn't it a good thing to give back, right? So that's what that's all about. But I realized that I really need a moderator or two to help me out during the course of the live stream to kind of get everybody's names into a randomized, drawing situation. I have the software and stuff. I just realized there's no way that I can do it during the course of the live stream and run the live stream. So we will do those 2 cash drawings on Friday evening. So you just have to be here in the live chat to be eligible for those drawings. And whether you win or not, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being amazing. All right. Oh, another thing. Let's see if I can do this here. Share. Oops. Share. Let me do. Well, I guess I can just do it like this. Yeah, let me see if I can do it a different way. It looks a little weird. Oh, share slides. Hey, I forgot how to do that. I haven't done that in a while. I used to use slides all the time, but not so much now. Slides. Okay. Well, you know what? But if it didn't show up yet, no, don't do that. Don't delete that. Why would you do that, silly computer? Oh my gosh. Let's see. Just one moment here. Continue. Do you guys, does this drive you crazy? I have chargers. I have the C chargers, the micro USB, the iPhone chargers, the old iPhone chargers, the MacBook chargers. It is absolutely insane. I feel like I am always dragging around a trail of chargers. Like I have like 15 tails, like dragging on the ground. They're getting all like frayed and oh my gosh. It's out of hand. Somebody needs to do something about that. Creators, inventors out there, do something about all the freaking chargers we have to use. It's unmanageable. All right. Okay. So concerning Nicole Kessinger, make this a little bigger. Did you guys know? Now, a lot of people have been following this case from the very beginning, sometime after. A lot of people started following this case after the Netflix documentary came out, and some started following this case after that for whatever reason. And on this channel, we don't care when you started following this case. There's a lot of channels that cover the Watts case, and they're like, oh, well, the newbies, blah, 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 blah. Well, you're not an OG. You haven't been following this case since August 16th, 2008. No. That's just silliness. Whenever you started following it is awesome. So you are all welcome. And, what's up with that anyway, people? Judgy. But so some of you may know this, some of you may not. Hi, Double R, Green-Eyed Bandit, Cecile, Jody is cool. How are you guys doing? Did you know that Nicole Kessinger did 5 interviews with law enforcement? It's true. Nicole Kessinger was first interviewed for the first time by the FBI on August 15th, 2018. It was on that day that she was determined to be a protected witness. How crazy is that? Okay. I just recently uploaded a video asking the question, did Nicole Kessinger actually go to law enforcement on her own volition, by her own free will, or was she forced to or prompted to by some outside force that caused her to piss her pants? I think the answer is the latter. You can go check out the video if you haven't seen it yet. She then did the interview that we all love to take the quotes from on August 16th, 2018 with Kevin Kobach. Leave Jim alone. All those great quotes. The one for which the video was released just about, I know, what was it, like a year ago? Thank you, Plunder. Paula, you're great. Thank you for pushing the forces that be to release that. Paula Plunder is amazing. Check her out if you haven't yet. I always have her as a recommended channel on my channel because I just store her. So shortly after that interview, Kobach held 2 additional interviews with Nicole Kessinger that were via phone. All right. Now, let me tell you about these phone interviews. Each of the phone interviews at some point cuts off. The audio just cuts off. It's like mid-sentence. You can tell it cut off. And you're like, WTF was that about? I really wanted to hear what they were going to talk about because it just started heating up. Oh my God, where did that interview go? Well, I'll tell you this. Most people don't know. But on this channel, I have been able to dig up the manuscripts, the written version of the dialogue for the second half of both, oh my gosh, of those phone interviews. And I don't know, I might be, and if there's other channels that have all of the interviews in their completeness, even with the audio redacted or erased interview content, I do apologize and I bow down to you, but I think this might be the only channel that has all 5 of the interviews in their entirety. I'll tell you why it's important in a second. And then the final interview was held with Kevin Kobach. It's when Nicole Kessinger met Nancy. I was going to call her Nancy Grace. Oh my God, Tammy Lee. And we're going to listen to a little bit of that interview today. And I love that interview for a number of reasons. So a lot of you have been asking recently about the interview content, the interviews that Nicole Kessinger did. I've seen that there is has been a lot of confusion to that end. And I really think that as time goes on and we learn more things by talking to each other and people revealing very small things in this case, coming to conclusions by, putting the evidence together themselves. When you go back and look at those interviews, sometimes you find something like, oh my God, I cannot believe I didn't catch that before. And it's really meaningful. So I think in the Friday night live streams for the next few weeks, we're just going to go through interview 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, this might be the only channel where you can actually do that because I have all that material. So right now I am working on cleaning up the first FBI interview the best I can. I know many people have tried to do it. It is a shit show of audio. That's one reason I got some of the new audio equipment and I got some audio cleaning software. It's actually cooking in the background right here. And so hopefully we'll have some good results with that. Does that sound good, guys? Y'all on board for that? Hey, Dave G, how are you doing? Hi, Delilah. How's it going? And everyone else. I want to go through and say hi to all of you guys so badly, but I have to move forward. Let's see. Conversations Unplugged, love that name and welcome, says she was definitely given an ultimatum. One way or another, she was backed into a corner to give some kind of statement. I think she was. And if you haven't seen it yet, check out the interview I recently put out. It's the one that, not the live stream that has to do with Michael Rourke, but the upload that also has to do with Michael Rourke. Yeah. Yeah, and I did not get copyright stricken by Michael Rourke's wife as Plunder and what's that other channel called? Behind, I always forget it. I'm sorry. It's a really great channel. So guess I kind of got lucky on that one. And both of their videos, as we predicted, did get put back up. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Yep. And then I also want to address, and we're going to do this after we listen to this piece of the NK interview, though, is, there are, as I said, whenever you start following this case, all good by us, we're not judging. Yes, Friday Night Live screen, I banned it. So we're going to start doing Friday Night Live streams every Friday again. And brand new and special for members is members only Thursday night live streams. And I'm going to be kicking you guys some exclusive content that I've just been holding on to and I can't hold it anymore. I know I've said that before and I leak some of it out slowly, but I just get so nervous. Those strikes were total BS. That's true. That's absolutely behind. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Behind Criminal Minds, it's called. Thank you very much. I want to give them their due credit. So with that being said, there's so many channels that cover Watt's case material and they cover it so well and they're so thorough and so complete. And, although those channels and myself may not always agree on every single detail, like I usually get where they're coming from. I'm talking about the A-class group of channels here and, it makes sense and it's all good. And then there are channels and a whole bunch of them have popped up recently. They're like, oh my God, check out all those, channels when they cover the Watts case. Look at their views go boing. And so I think for that reason, well, I know for some of them for that reason, because I've talked to the creators and they fessed up to me. That is the reason. They start creating a channel that talks mostly about Watts content. How original. Watts the Obsession. And I just want you to be careful when you're checking out those channels. I always like to support other creators. I really do. And there's so many amazing creators that cover this case. Like I said, Plunder, Behind Criminal Minds, AT, Amber the Truth Seeker, ATS News. Oh God, there's so many others. Why can't, they're just not coming to mind right now. I'm so sorry, everyone. I love Unjustified. But anyway, there's a ton of them. But I just want you to be really careful when you're choosing your Watts content channels, okay? Because just be careful, okay? Yeah. Oh, hey, thanks. So Dave G reminds me, watch out for, that guy. If you have his interview with law enforcement interviewing him, edit it. Okay, so if a creator puts up something that they have done, one of the reasons you cannot get a copyright strike is if you make substantial changes to a video to make it your own. So that's what Dave is saying to do. Even though he's not living at the address he gave in the interview, he is getting the interview removed for doxing. Well, ain't that something, right? Yep. Thank you for that, Dave. So everybody take note, creators that are watching. Yeah. Oh, True Tam, my girl, says, make sure they are telling you the actual truth. That's right, Tammy. How do I know this to be true at Watts the Obsession? What are you asking? How do I know this to be true? I like that. I like this guy too. I like his personality. I don't know how to say it. Whoops. I wish I did. And whenever he, plays my material, he always gives me credit, which I really appreciate because a lot of people don't. Whoops. I like whoever that guy is. I think it would be good for him. I don't know. I need to send him a message. I think it'd be good for him to have a channel name that people knew how to pronounce. You know what I mean? The stuff that I don't think anything that Dave said is true. So you said, how do you know this to be true? And then you said the stuff that Dave said. I don't think anything Dave said is true. Oh, Dave G. Oh, Dave G. Sorry. I don't mean to say I don't trust anything Dave G says. There's a couple Daves at play. I believe Dave on this. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, moderators, make sure you are moderating. And let's listen to a little bit of an interview from Nicole Kessinger. So, this is a final interview that she gave to law enforcement on August 26, 2018. Now, I like this interview for a lot of reasons. The entire interview is 2 hours and 16 minutes long. We're going to listen to a very, very small portion because then we're going to focus on some text messages between herself and her friend that were in discovery, some discrepancies that myself and, well, A Curious Rose did a live stream about this way back, kind of dug up and did some work on researching that are very telling. Also, in this interview, Kevin Kovac finally, for the first time, really gets, noticeably annoyed with Nicole Kessinger. And I'm like, oh man, he's bringing out it's not even the big guns, but he's bringing out his backbone. Look we can see it growing right there. And he kind of, tells her to stop talking about the BS and move on to the real stuff. And she really gets nervous. I imagine, even though she's wearing her jeans and her long sleeve sweatshirt on a day where, looking at the historical weather records, it was 97 degrees. And I looked for Frederick, Colorado on August 26th, the day she gave this interview, 97 degrees. I think it's very interesting. Now, also a bit of the interview that talks about her relationship with her best friend, Charlotte Nelson. And we're going to be listening to it, but I'm going to let you know exactly why this part of the interview proves beyond a shadow of a doubt to me, probably just a lot of people, I imagine almost all people in the psychology profession, that Nicole Kessinger is absolutely, positively a narcissist. And why is that relevant? Well, you can probably think of some answers to that question for yourself, and we'll talk about that more in depth after we listen to this portion of the interview. Here goes. Please let me know how the audio is once it starts.
Yeah, except for when I first met him, and it was a big PC thing.
Okay, and then what about your phone log? It's always his 910 number.
All the time.
Right.
Like it's always that one, or originally was his.
We talked about your GPS locating, like knowing where your phone is at certain times.
You guys can have all that.
Wait, hold it. Oh, I'm sorry. I tried to make a video that I interrupted what they were saying to give little comments, but did you hear him? He's talking about getting her phone and getting the information, the GPS aspect of her phone that will let them know where she is at all times. Oh my God, she must be peeing her pants. And listen to, after he asked that question, how she just starts to, just fall over her words, starts talking really fast, and is clearly trying to divert the conversation to anything other than that. Oh my God, I do not want them to get my GPS.
Text on here between me and all my friends. I'm like, do they really want all this?
Oh, I go back to
number all the time.
Right.
Like it's always that one, or originally was his.
We talked about your GPS locating, like knowing where your phone is at certain times.
You guys can have all that. I just was like, oh my God, so many texts on here between me and all my friends. I'm like, do they really want all this stuff?
Well, is there anything in those texts that you'd be concerned with?
Not really.
So, not really, or yes or no?
No, the other day, my dad and I just had to do some damage control because a lot of people were like, hey, please call me, I don't know what to say. And I just told them all, I didn't say anything. I pretty much just said, if Mitress contact you, tell them no comment. It's like, please be nice to them. You do not need to talk to them. It was like, I'm safe, not in trouble, and breaking laws. And it was just like, just send your love and support. And that was all I said to people.
So did that prompt all the phone calls of people going,
no,
are you okay?
They were prompting me.
Right.
That is why I did that, because I didn't even want to say that, but I was getting all sorts of texts from people that were like, media's trying to contact me, I don't know what to do. I didn't tell them that I was a witness. I didn't tell them anything about that. It was just like, just say no comment. I need you to do this.
Okay.
And then a couple of my like super, super close friends, I asked them if they would be courteous enough to take all the pictures that we had of each other off Facebook and social media, and they said yes, and that was like a couple of really close friends.
Is there any text messages between you and friends that reference anything that would be concerning regarding this case?
No.
Like talking about Chris? I think you've told me that you've never even really talked with
My friends about him. No, and like my friend's dad died last night, like yesterday.
I'm not worried about that.
No, I know, but she started like, oh my God, she was really drunk last night. She started like freaking out.
So this is one of the parts of the interview that lets us know, in my opinion, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Nicole Kessinger is a complete narcissist. And I can go through the checklist as of how she is explaining her reaction to her friend when she's telling her friend about her drama and her friend's dad just died, and how she just couldn't give two fucks about it. I mean, it really couldn't be more cold, callous, and heartless. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. But seriously, pay attention. If you haven't heard this before, you're going to blow your mind. Go find a pillow to punch, because I don't want you to hurt your hand punching the wall. It is enraging.
She's like, I don't know what's going on in your life. She's like, I don't know if it pertains to this case. And she like just sent me like a screenshot of a news article of that case. And she was just like, she's like,
what about conversations?
I didn't mention that it had anything to do with that. She's like, I don't know if that's what it is. He works in Anadarko. She's like, I really don't give a shit. She's like, I just really need you to be here with me and my dad and this and this and this. And she was just kind of upset because I had asked her to please say no comments in the media, and it happened to be like right when her dad died. And I think she was feeling a little like, yeah, but I mean,
she was upset because I just called her to say no comment to the media, and it happened to be right when her dad died. Seriously, since as many of you know, my dad just passed away less than 2 months ago. If somebody did that to me and I told them what happened and they continued to, march on with their agenda, I don't know what I would have done. I'm sure that person would no longer be my friend. Unless maybe they came and gave me a good apology and we talked it out. But you're going to find out in just a little bit here. Nicole Kessinger tells Kobach, well, finally, at least she called me the next day and apologized for, her dad dying. This girl, I mean, I can't even.
you guys can read this. There's nothing in there of me actually saying anything about it. I just told
What's your phone number on that phone?
720. It's the same phone number that's on this one. 6569605. So no, I mean, you guys can.
So there was a conversation that I asked you about between you and Charlotte too.
That's the same girl.
That same girl who was freaking out.
Yeah.
So was there ever a conversation about kids with you and Charlotte? Like I can't remember the exact context, but you guys were talking.
Hanging out with a guy who had kids.
Okay. And
she has not even
Wait. All right. So your conversation about him having kids, how did that go?
I mean, I don't know. I just told her.
Is it still? Did you delete that, or is it still?
No, I have no reason to delete anything else on my phone. And the reason I deleted all this stuff with Chris is because he was making me feel really uncomfortable, and I didn't want to see it in my phone anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me scroll all the way back here, man. The scroll talk a lot. No, she is like.
So let's just while we're here, because we talked about this before, but we didn't talk about the specific context of what that message said regarding to children. So obviously, in the situation that we're looking at now with the death of 2 children and all the other circumstantial stuff going around in the case, I just want to make sure there was no comments ever made by you regarding, children or dislike of children or love of children, either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. Let me find it. I think this is where this starts. You guys can just take whatever you want out of there.
So it's easier for me to just take everything than it is to single it out. Plus, for the purposes of this case, the less exposure, we already have, initially you drew concern from me when you told me you deleted everything from Chris. I've already told you that. You understand why. There's no question as to why that might cause concern. So if there's anything else that ever comes up, I have it, and then we can just discuss it. Do you understand what I mean? All right.
It's right here. This is where it starts. She starts right there. She starts talking about her and her fiance. So that was like weeks ago. And she hasn't brought it up since really, or like connected the dots, or like said shit. I mean, you guys can look through all those texts. And I don't know when that was. That was definitely when things were going good. So this is like weeks prior, I'm just assuming. I think the date is at the top of whenever we started texting that day.
Looks, this is
We talk a lot.
August 7th.
Yeah.
So I reference everything to Sunday.
So that's the only conversation like that on there, I believe, on my phone. I don't think there's like anything else. And she even last night, like, still wasn't even, she's so worried about her. Other than that, there shouldn't really be anything on with other people. But you guys can just pull everything off that phone.
As long as you're okay with that, that's would
I
be
mean,
my
if that
preference.
makes your life easier.
It's not just about making it easier, it's just less. So if there's any question, like I told you before, like the two girls you just met did a lot of interviews in this case. They've done a lot of work. They may know things that I don't. There's no way we can all know everything. So they might go, oh, because somebody else was the one who told me about Charlotte in this message. So I've never
Well,
read
that's probably
this.
why.
Potentially, I'm
assuming that that's
Yeah.
what that is. Because I said his name. And I don't even think she's put two and two together. Because last night, it was just like the way she was talking. She wasn't like, this is him, this is it. She was like, I don't know what's going on. I just assume this is it, because this guy looked in a darko, but she is not even like processing. What is occurring?
What do you mean by can tell he has a lot to take care of in life? What did you mean when you said that?
He has a mortgage and he has kids.
Okay.
And responsibility. I mean, he's a father with a house.
You're even saying in here he's all about his kids.
Yeah. And she was like asking me somewhere in there, like, I mean, everything I had to say about him at that point was like really positive. Like, I think I made it clear that I wasn't like 100% sure this was like the man of my dreams and I was going to spend the rest of my life with him or anything, but I was enjoying the time that I was spending with him at that point.
You're referencing that he has two kids and then you don't like that?
Oh, girl, you are enjoying every moment of time that you are spending with that man. You are totally obsessed. We all know it. I love how she tries to downplay her feelings towards Chris Watts, all the time, and I don't think anyone is buying it, even this idiot interviewer, Kevin Kovac.
Because you want to have that experience with somebody else? Is that what?
I just said I wasn't sure if he was the one that I want to be with because he had already like done everything.
Okay.
Like I was like, it would be really nice to kind of like have kids and have my own marriage and all of that stuff. That was never anything I conveyed to him.
So you said he's handsome, huh? Did you send her a picture?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not attached here. Is that because what you did? Do you think from what you
I think
deleted?
it's from when I deleted all my photos of his stuff.
Turquoise.
He's kind of short.
I mean, I talked to her in a way that I wouldn't like talk to him with like my girl, you know what I'm saying? It's
I get it. No, I'm just
very,
I'm
like-
just teasing you a little bit.
All right, I'll be cutting this out in just 1 second. I'm just getting something up behind the scenes here.
So now you're just talking about shoes and okay.
So brought it up again last night. The dots. She was like freaking out like her dad. And she was really upset. She wanted me to come see her on Saturday because it's his wedding.
So unexpected.
Kind of, sort of. He had Parkinson's. So kind of, but not. You know
Just
what I'm
listen to
saying?
how
There's no
callous
nothing.
she is here. It's just, it blows my mind. I mean, I don't know anyone that I could imagine talking like this, because I think I discard those people from my life rather quickly. I hope I do.
But she's having a really hard time with it. I knew she would, and she's like, can you make the wake on Saturday? And I was like, I'm really hesitant to leave the house. And I didn't tell her that, but I was like, I don't know, I'll try, and I'm gonna go, but I'm not gonna tell her until it's like right before I need to be there. And
So
she
what does
started
she reference
freaking out.
of? Just is Chris the guy? I'm more interested
No, she
in.
didn't even ask me if she was just like, she's like, I don't know what's going on. She's like, you can say it.
Okay. So you mentioned on your text before you were coming that there was other information that you thought of that was important again?
Yeah.
More info?
You know, when we get so sidetracked.
I'll look at this, will you do that? And then
I'll show you where it is.
Yeah,
There's
show
so
me where it
much in here. Like, I will just say.
you guys talk a lot.
Oh, yeah. She is like not right here. So first she sends me this, and she's not even asking me about him. She's saying he looks like her ex. That's when she first brings him up. She doesn't even mention me at that point. I don't even think she realizes it's the same guy. Like, legitimately. I think this girl is so wrapped up in all the stuff that she's got going on right now that I don't think it's even processing. I mean, you can just tell by the way that she, like, talks. See, and she's all upset because I asked her to
Mm-hmm.
not talk to the media, and it happened to be the day that her dad died, and I'm sitting here trying to comfort her.
Is this your best friend?
Yes. This girl is like my whole world.
All right.
Um,
But you're not talking about children or your relationship with Chris or anything like that?
No, the only time I ever mentioned him was like that one day.
Okay.
And I didn't even remember that I even had like said that to her.
What's her phone number?
720-425-7330.
So I'm not gonna call her, but at some point, you might wanna talk to her. just so you know. I mean, sooner or later she's going to connect the dots, or you're going to tell her, right, if she's your best friend.
I'm not gonna tell her. If she figures it out, she figures it out.
Okay. If we were going to talk to her, I'd let you know beforehand. Is that fair?
Yeah, just so I can give her a heads up.
Yep.
And she apologized to me, like, 'cause she was being kind of crazy. She was.
So tell me about the new info that you remembered.
Okay, see right here, hold on. She says, look, man, I know you work at Anadarko, he did too. I know he murdered his wife and kids. I know he was a dog. I know you're my best friend. I know you have a good heart. I know that that guy needs to go to jail, and he will. I know you don't want publicity, and neither would I. I know that as a witness, if you say anything, it can cause a mistrial. I know you don't want that, neither do I. Fuck the media, I want my best friend here. I never fucking said anything to her about a trial.
Okay.
So,
But
see, look, she goes, I don't even care if you flirted with him or more. I know you had nothing to do with what happened, and I don't care if your job is having an open investigation. I'm not gonna ask you a single question, but my pop's died and you're my best friend.
okay.
And I said, please stop talking about that. And she said, what do you want, house arrest? And she just keeps saying, my father.
Dude, wait, did you just hear that? Nicole Kessinger goes, I said, please stop talking about that. What? This girl's talking about how she needs her there because her father died. Nicole Kessinger says, please stop talking about that. Let's hear that again. Just to the point of this woman is absolutely positively a narcissist. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's none. And for those of you who are maybe new to the channel, I do have a background in psychology. I am a behavioral therapist, and that's kind of the perspective that I come from.
So I'm not going to call her, but at some point we might want to talk to her, just so you know. I mean, sooner or later she's going to connect the dots, or you're going to tell her, right, if she's your best friend.
I'm not gonna tell her. If she figures it out, she figures it out.
Okay. If we were going to talk to her, I'd let you know beforehand. Is that fair?
Yeah, just so I can give her a heads up.
Yep.
And she apologized to me, like, 'cause she was being kind of crazy. She was.
So tell me about the new info that you remembered.
Okay, see right here, hold on. She says, look, man, I know you work at Anadarko, he did too. I know he murdered his wife and kids. I know he was a dog. I know you're my best friend. I know you have a good heart. I know that that guy needs to go to jail, and he will. I know you don't want publicity, and neither would I. I know that as a witness, if you say anything, it can cause a mistrial. I know you don't want that, neither do I. Fuck the media, I want my best friend here. I never fucking said anything to her about a trial.
Okay.
So,
but
see, look, she goes, I don't even care if you flirted with him or more. I know you had nothing to do with what happened, and I don't care if your job is having an open investigation. I'm not gonna
Wait for it.
ask you a single question, but my pop's died and you're my best friend.
Okay.
And I said, please stop talking about that. And she said, what do you want, house arrest? And she just keeps saying, my father died, what the fuck? She was not okay last night, and I was just trying to, like...
Understandable.
And I was just trying to be a human being. I feel like Kevin Kovac is just, I think he's like kind of such an idiot, at least the side of himself that he presented in these interviews as a apparent professional being completely unprofessional and definitely not showing off his skills. I feel like he's trying to not jump out of his skin here.
Mitigate this. And I was like trying to calm her down. And I said, Charlotte, I'm trying so hard to be the best friend I can to you right now. I said, I want to talk to you about that case. I didn't say the case. I said that case. Like I wasn't even affiliated with it at all. And you need to respect that. I'm here for you regarding your dad. You know this. And then she's freaking out.
You guys never had a conversation except for this past text messages about Chris and his children.
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
That's fine.
I mean, because he wasn't really something that I like super wanted everybody to know about, and I shouldn't have even mentioned it when she brought up what she had like going on sexually with her fiance, and it happened. But at that point,
you guys are best friends. It's understandable.
Yeah. See, and she keeps trying to talk about it. She says, if you're not under investigation by the police, I don't care. Why can't you attend your so-called best friend's father's death? It doesn't make sense to me. And all I told her was stop.
See, she just doesn't get that the whole thing is her best friend is saying, I don't give a shit about these details. Nicole Kessinger is so focused on do or don't talk about these details in this way or not that way or whatever. She just wants her to fucking care that her dad just died like moments ago. And this bitch can't get that through her thick, thin-haired skull. It's just so crazy to me.
And
She
just
just like,
her dad.
yeah, and she just is like freaking out. And finally, I just told her, getting mad at me is gonna bring your dad back, and that is when she chilled.
Okay.
Well, she kind of went on another rant, but it had nothing to do with Chris. And then she apologized to me this morning for being
She apologized to me this morning.
What other new information?
Okay, see, we got so much going on, I didn't even text it to myself because I can't forget.
You I'm gonna make sure before you leave you see Hazel. You need to get some help.
I know.
Yeah, you do need to get some help. Thank you, Kevin. Now, I want to talk about this comment here that, oops, wait, hold it. I got to minimize my screen a little bit. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. Okay, minimize, maximize. What up, screen? Okay, there we go. Oh, yes, R says she only feels sorry for herself. That's true. You guys in comments are on fire today. Lots of totally great comments. Let's see. There's one that I wanted to, let me find it. Give me just a moment here. Yeah, really super great comments, guys. Yeah. Let's see. She definitely runs the interviews. My God. And why can't she go to the funeral? I know. It's just crazy. It's just insane. I mean, oh God. It's just, let's see. Oh crap. Where did it go? Because it was something important. Oh, I know. About the lazy dog menu. Let's see. Who said that? I got to find that comment. There it is. Oh, I'm glad you said this. Because we did some research on this and I'm going to tell you about it. So Disturbing the Pieces says, and why did she want to go to a different lazy dog when they have the same menu? Well, very interesting, right? Because that was what she told investigators, that she and Chris Watts went to one lazy dog restaurant on the evening of Saturday, August 11th, 2018. So this is 2 days, 36 hours, less than 2 days before the terrible tragic demise of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and unborn baby Nico. Lots of people think some shady shit went down there. I don't have a clear theory about what went down there, but I absolutely believe it is not what she is telling investigators because she is never forthcoming. So she tells investigators that, well, we went to this one lazy dog and we were looking at the menu and they said, well, did you even get seated? Well, yes and no. We were looking at the menu while the server was cleaning up the table and I was like, I don't want to eat this. So we went to another lazy dog. So very interesting. Molson Mann, who is a beloved friend, cherished friend and moderator of this channel, and myself, before we even knew each other, each did research on the lazy dog menus at that time. So it's like, like a franchise or whatever. It's a business structure where people own the individual locations, right? And at that time, before I don't know what the case is. That's why I'm saying at the time, because, hopefully for them, their business model is working and their business is expanded. I'm quite sure that there are more locations now. I do not know how many. And I don't know now if each location has the ability to change its menu. But at that time, here was the deal. All of the lazy dog locations had the same base menu. And what they were allowed to change, to have seasonal specials or like to make like happy hours that they thought would attract people, where they were allowed to add to that base menu seasonal drinks and seasonal tapas or appetizers. And there was a certain number they were only allowed to add to the menu just as a special for a short time, in addition to the base full menu that each of the locations featured. They all changed it on the same day. They had one chef's team, that was working up the menus for the upcoming season. A lot of restaurants, of course, they change their menus seasonally. So the foods are most appealing to the people that'll come there during that season. So that was the deal. So her saying that she didn't want to stay at that particular Lazy Dog location because she didn't like what was on the menu is bullshit. And Wilson Man and I, one time I was talking about it, he was chatting about it, and we realized that we had both done the same research. We compared notes, and we had found out the same thing. I think we'd even talked to one of the same people. So that was pretty interesting. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I just want to grab a couple comments here. We're going to move on. Sub Rosa asks, was Leave Jim alone at the Lazy Dog restaurant? Well, I kind of think that he was. Well, we also know that her friend Danielle was there from out of town over that weekend. I mean, that has been proven. We don't know the exact time of Danielle's travel. I mean, she could have just been there Friday night and left Saturday and wasn't there Saturday night. I just don't know, but there are a lot of questions to ask that do not have answers. That really should have answers. Conversations Unplugged says, coincidence, they didn't get footage of them there. I think there were more than just CW and NK there. Yeah, I lean in that direction too. I just don't have anything concrete to tell you otherwise, or I would. Of course I would. Yeah, Aunt Diane, small differences. Like I just explained, we specifically were able to drill down to what those small differences were allowed to be at that time. Maybe it was the Rusty Bucket they went to first and she just misremembered. Oh, well, that's possible. I mean, she misremembers a lot, doesn't she? Yeah, we were talking about the same thing, I think, Miss Aunt Diane. How are you doing? You guys are so funny. All right. I think this is a word I always say wrong. Welcome, A. Art. I'm just going to call you Art right now. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Although she remembers the most unimportant details of what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, she always remembers the most unimportant details of everything and fails to remember the important things, the substantial things that the investigators want to know about. Yes, yes, that's very true. And you have to ask yourself, why does she always want to confuse investigators? Why? I mean, that's a really dangerous thing to do. Well, she does already know that she's a protected witness. So I guess that comforts her, in the wee small hours of the morning when others would be awake, sweating bullets, not able to sleep because they're like, oh shit, I lied to a federal agent and, a Colorado Bureau of Investigation agent. I don't know how many times. There's not that many limbs or digits in this county to count how many times that's happened. But she seems to, be cool as a cucumber. Okay. Yes, he did search the Rusty Bucket. Well, they did go to the Rusty Bucket at some point. They did. We do know that. I think maybe even on 2 occasions. Linda Olson asks, does anyone know if law enforcement talked to Jim? The only thing we all know, as far as we all know, he did not. Nobody has found any credible evidence or indication even of law enforcement actually talking to Jim Gutowski. Let's see. My girl, Suspicious, hi honey, how you doing? Says, I suspect and think it's highly possible they went to different Lazy Dog because one of them saw someone they knew. Had it been a food option reason, why not go to a different restaurant altogether? As always, my darling, very good thinking. I think we talked about that before, right? I think that's more likely too. So they left him alone. They left Jim alone. They left him alone. Jim didn't know anything. They left him alone. Right? Yeah. They did, I guess. You guys are funny. You guys are so funny. You're all saying the same thing. You guys are hilarious. Oh, gosh. Okay. Now let's turn to, so now we're going to still go along with the theme of the text exchanges between Nicole Kessinger and Charlotte Nelson. Now, what we're about to discuss is going to be a little detail oriented. So please go take your, no, don't do that. I was going to say that. Everybody just pay attention. All right, hold it. Guess which earbud's here. This one's hurting a little bit. All right. Poor Jimmy, I know. I think she should sub Rosa. You know that. My gosh, this girl. She's freaking just, oh. It just feels so unfair that such a tragedy happened. And, you know, in my opinion, that somebody is out there that contributed in some way to this horrific, egregious crime and had no price to pay for it. That just will never feel like justice to me. It's not justice, and it can't be left that way, because in order for our justice system to work at all, it has to work all the time. You know, that's the idea. There's really no in between. So it's not acceptable, obviously. All right, let me bring this into the stream here. Whoa, okay, wait. Hold it. I'm in the confusing situation of, all right, I'm trying to bring something into the stream that, never mind, I don't want to try to explain it, but here, let me just a second. All right. Okay. Oh my gosh. Whoa, this is so weird. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh no. No. Shoot. There we go. Okay, gosh. Oh, what? Okay, it's there. Oh my God, that gets so confusing because I'm sharing something that has the tabs up in top because I took a screenshot of it when I was setting up earlier, and one of them is StreamYard, so it just gets me super confused. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to maximize this, get myself out of there, girl. All right. And dun-dun. Okay. So reading from the Discovery. This is a report from Kevin Kobach. She reported talking with her close friends about damage control relating to her name getting out into the media. She asked them to remove photos of her on Facebook and other social media. She denied having any conversations with anyone about Chris Watts, with the exception of her father and Charlotte Nelson. Only after, here's my side note on this, only after, as Kevin Kobach and Nicole Kessinger were just discussing, well, actually, this is what you just witnessed, but if you were listening and you picked this up, Kevin Kobach had to basically pull it out of her that she did share information with Charlotte. You know, remember he says, well, it's another investigation that even told me about this. Otherwise, she certainly never would have told him, right? Kevin Kobach goes on to say she admitted sending a photo of Chris Watts to Charlotte Nelson during a text conversation on August 7th, 2018. Now, I want you to put that in the back of your mind, that date, August 7th, 2018. That's when Kevin Kobach is reporting that Kessinger said she sent a picture of Watts to her friend Charlotte, okay? During that same conversation, comments were made by Nicole that Chris had children. Charlotte has not made a connection that Chris is a person involved in this case. During this text conversation, Nicole says that she can tell Watts has a lot to take care of. Okay. And then it goes on a little more, and I didn't copy and paste that. We can definitely look at it if you want to, but no, actually we don't need to because we're going to reiterate in a different part. Now, there's a problem here with this report from Kevin Kobach. Does anyone know what it is? And it's critical. It's material. Do 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 do. That's Jeopardy, right? Yeah, that's because I'm old. Let's see here. Okay, we got all that. So does anyone know what the problem is in this report from Kevin Kobach? Nope. Okay, so according to the conversation that Nicole Kessinger just had with Kevin Kobach, each of them acknowledge that on only one occasion, on one day, did Nicole Kessinger have an exchange with Charlotte Nelson about Chris Watts. And I should have stopped and pointed that out, but I didn't. But it happened on a few occasions. I think like a total of 4, if you take into consideration when she acknowledged that and when Kevin Kobach acknowledged it, like all of them. Okay. Only had a conversation between Nicole Kessinger and Charlotte Nelson about Chris Watts on one day, one occasion, one conversation. This report states that it is August 7th. Yes, thank you. Someone said, thank you so much, Cecile. My email is wattsobsession@gmail.com. wattsobsession@gmail.com. And yes, Cecile is right. It's in the About Me section. Okay, so keep that in your smart little mind right there. And now we're going to pull something else into the stream. Okay. All right. Ooh, sorry, it's a little sensitive. Okay, there. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to be looking at here is a report from CeCe Galbraith, who is another investigator on the case. So here it says, let's just read all the information on it. Primary information, description, Charlotte Nelson interview, friend of Nicole Kessinger. It is on, excuse me, September 6th, 2018. And if we look here, we can see that it lasted for 28 minutes. It was conducted by CeCe Galbraith. She's a CBI agent. And I don't really know if the rest of that has meaning. As a synopsis, Agent Galbraith spoke with Charlotte Nelson by phone on September 6th, 2018. See narrative for details. Nelson is a friend of Nicole Kessinger, and the two exchanged text messages about the relationship between Kessinger and Chris Watts. Now remember, Kevin Kobach and Nicole Kessinger acknowledged just in that small portion of the interview that we just watched on 4 different occasions that Kessinger and Nelson communicated one time about Chris Watts, like one text exchange over the course of one day. Kevin Kobach reported it was August 7th, 2018. Kevin Kobach is wrong. Synopsis. Wait, let me make sure you guys can see that. Okay, you can. Good. Synopsis. I was asked to assist by speaking with Charlotte Nelson. Nelson is a friend of Nicole Kessinger, and the two exchanged text messages about the relationship between Kessinger and Chris Watts. I provided a packet of text messages involving a number, which I was advised of that was Shanann Watts. Interesting, right? But that's not Shanann Watts' number. And Nicole Kessinger just read Charlotte's number to Kobach, and that is Charlotte's number. Why are things in this very important discovery so unclear? Why are all of these agents so confused? Yes, I know that you're interviewing a witness that is trying to confuse you, but I mean, really, you guys are trained and apparently skilled professionals, and this is just some narcissistic, Valley girl who is trying to pull one over on all of you. I don't understand why it's so easy for her to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's really frustrating. Okay, back to the discovery. Action taken. Agent Galbraith subsequently reviewed the content. The records are somewhat confusing, as some of the correspondence is clearly with a 720 number, but other times it's a 9,000 something or another number. However, the content appears to indicate that the person is the same one communicating from the 720 number based upon the conversation flow. And that's Charlotte Nelson. I don't get it. Okay, anyway. So, guys, listen to this. The texting is on August 12th, 2018. The texting is on August 12th, 2018. Well, isn't that interesting? And she goes on to describe this in detail, which, bolsters the accuracy of her report in whole, because as we just saw, Kevin Kobach reported that this conversation between Kessinger and Charlotte Nelson was on August 7th, 2018. I mean, guys, seriously, how could you make that mistake? Well, I'm going to tell you why I think that is in a little bit. Think about it for yourselves, but it's a mistake. That much is clear. Oops. Okay. All right. Stop screen. Bring back in. Share. Okay. Okay. So the texting is on August 12th, 2018. I'm not certain of the time zone in which the records, are formatted. Some of the content is undecipherable. Based upon the numbers, it is difficult to say for sure if the texts are from Nikki or Charlotte, but content lends to context. I think she meant context lends to content. I don't know. And the author anyway. Nikki on August 12th, 2018. Guys, just a warning. Some of the language is foul. It's not by choice, but I'm just going to read it as is because, just what I'm going to do. Okay. It's kind of feel weird saying some of these words normally wouldn't, but I'm just going to do it. Been kind of hanging out with a guy recently, keeping it a secret. Dude, I can't say this. Dude loves to eat P word. I just can't say it. What if my mom watches this? Never met a man who does till now. I just let it happen. LOL. Charlotte, August 12th, 2018. Where did you meet this man? Nikki. I don't know, man. Sean never ate me out one time. Ugh, so sorry, guys. Charlotte, I don't think it's you, man. Some guys are lame with that stuff. I don't know. I've seriously never had a conversation with my girlfriends like this, but not quite like this. Okay, anyway. Nikki, feels like every dude I meet has kids these days. And if they don't, they have commitment issues or some BS like Sean. Charlotte says, what's the dude's name? Kids are cute, man. Where it says menge, it's man. It's a package deal, though. Charlotte says, that's awesome, man. Nikki says, the fact he takes care of his kids is a good thing, I guess. Now, this particular line right here, Nicole Kessinger saying the fact that he takes care of his kids is a good thing, I guess, is a statement that Kevin Kobach asked her about at length in that interview that we just watched a portion of. Once again, proving that the text exchange that he is in fact referring to, the one text exchange that happened between Kessinger and Nelson, is actually the one on August 12th, although he reports it is on August 7th. Why is August 12th a big deal? Well, guys, it is the day before, well, no, it is the last day of the lives of Shanann Watts with her pregnancy, looking forward to eventually having her baby, Bella Watts and CeCe Watts. So let me say that again. August 12th, the day that Kessinger apparently first tells her best friend, Charlotte Nelson, about Chris Watts, is the day before the murders. Hours before Shanann, Bella, and Celeste are murdered. Think about that. Nicole says he's all about his kids. Charlotte says, that's cool. How old are they? And then she asks, how old is he? And then Kessinger says, 33, I think. Like she doesn't know. Kessinger says, I just feel like I will always be second place. Like he's been there, done that. It's early, though. We will see. He's very kind to me, though. Nikki says, and he works out, so he's super sexy. Nicole also says, don't tell nobody. I haven't made up my mind on him yet. Nikki also says, like he seems too good to be true. Nikki also says, haha, yeah, it's the best sex I've ever had. I'm hooked. Nikki also says, I think he really likes me. On September 6th, 2018, I received a call from Charlotte Nelson. I had left Nelson a message the day before on September 5th and texted her on September 6th prior to her call to me. Nelson met Kessinger in high school. They were not as close as they are now. Nelson moved to Aruba and moved back around 2006, and she and Kessinger got in contact. Kessinger is Nelson's best friend. They text a lot, but did not see each other maybe once every month or two. Strange, since they live close. Nelson knew why I would be contacting her. I asked how this case is sitting with her. She told me it is a horrible situation and it is very upsetting. She is worried about Kessinger. Nelson said that Kessinger got caught up with the wrong person at the wrong time, and it's just devastating. I asked if Nelson knew that Kessinger had been dating Chris Watts. Nelson explained that Kessinger was working as a contractor for Anadarko. Kessinger had not told Nelson that she was seeing a guy at work. Kessinger had told Nelson that she was seeing a guy at work at some point. Kessinger did not say who, and Nelson never met him. Nelson saw some news about this case and heard that the guy worked at Anadarko, and Nelson wondered if Kessinger knew the guy. Kessinger then called Nelson and let her know the media may try to get in contact with her about the case. Nelson said that Kessinger said she could not discuss much about the case with her. Nelson told me that her father died a couple weeks ago, and she had been drinking a lot to deal with things right now. Nelson said she had looked back, and Kessinger had sent her a photo of Kessinger and the guy she was seeing. Nelson agreed to go back through her text messages and screenshot the communication she had with Kessinger. Kessinger had told Nelson that the guy she was seeing had a couple kids. Nelson knew Kessinger liked kids a lot, and she seemed in favor of it. Kessinger said he was a really nice guy, and he did not seem to mind. She did not seem to mind that he had kids. Nelson said she did not say much as she tends to let people live their lives. Nelson did not think it was smart of Kessinger to date someone she worked with since she liked her job, but Nelson did not tell Kessinger that. Maybe you should have spoken up, sister. Well, she wouldn't have cared. I asked if Kessinger spoke of the guy's marital status to Nelson. Kessinger did not at the time, but Kessinger has since told Nelson that the guy had told Kessinger that he was separated from his wife. Kessinger did not provide Nelson details of the relationship as to where they spent time, when they spent time, or how they spent time, or if they were intimate. Well, that certainly isn't true now, is it? Jeez. She said she did not know and did not ask. Lies, 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 lies. How did they get away with this? Nelson said Kessinger just got out of a relationship, and Nelson just let her tell her what she wants to share. Nelson described Kessinger as private. Oh, my word. Hold it. Let me check chat for a minute. I got to take a drink here. This is insane. Oh, God. There's so much to dissect just in this. It's unreal. Every little section you look at in this discovery, there's a what the fuck moment. It's just maddening because it feels to me, at least, and I know many of you, that they did wrong to the victims here and that they are doing wrong to their families, whether the family members agree with that statement or not. You know, I imagine that losing loved ones on like the way that this is a freaking horrific tragedy. After going through that, I can imagine that your judgment could be susceptible to, you know, influences that aren't looking out for your best interest, if you know what I mean. I mean, look at who the poor Watts family is in contact with, the YouTube creator, regularly now, and they're completely being used. It's a terrible thing. Let's see. What's Nancy throwing? I want to know what Nancy's throwing. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to just get back to reading this. Oh, hey, Gregory. Gregory, of course, makes a great point. Gregory says, personally, I don't think that they cared about the details because they already knew they were not going to touch her due to her father or for some other reason, sleeping around, who knows. That's right. I mean, she was determined to be a protected witness on August 15th by at least 5:31 p.m. when this report was generated that says protected witness, right? Oh, God. see. All right. I have to read this. Suspicious says, this discovery makes my ass itch. It's infuriating from start to finish. So incomplete and an abomination to the notion of being a discovery at all. Oh, well said, my sis. Well said as always. Oh my gosh, you're great. All right, back to reading this. All right. Okay, I can keep doing it. All right. Okay, I told Nelson that I had some content from text messages between her and Kessinger. I had read the one about it being the best sex Kessinger ever had and the one about oral sex. Nelson reminded me that her dad died and she had been drinking heavily. She told me that she actually barely remembers the text with Kessinger. Well, you'd think that she would have had an occasion to go ahead and look back at those texts since CeCe Galbraith had called her 24 hours before to let her know they needed to have this interview. And she also texted her earlier that day prior to them having an interview. How long does it take to just thumb through your texts and take a look at what you had said? Not very long at all, right? Especially if you're like, oh shit, my dad had just died. I was drinking heavily. I don't think I really remember. I'm going to be talking to a CBI agent. I better refresh my memory, right? Nelson told me that Kessinger dates a lot, and in the past, she has had not the best luck in the men that she has dated. So Nelson typically does not ask about the details. Smart girl. I read the following text to Nelson. So Galbraith is reading these to Nelson now, okay? Listen. Nikki says, feel like every dude I met has kids these days, and if they don't, they have commitment issues or some BS, like Sean. I asked Nelson for some context to the text, and it seemed that a man with kids may be a negative thing based upon the words in the text alone. Nelson said that she does not think that Kessinger was against him having kids, and Kessinger wants kids too. Just a moment. I need to change locations. It's bunny scratching at the floor time, and I don't want you guys to have to endure that. Just one minute. Whoa. Since I'm not hooked up to my mic, I have the liberty to do that. Do. Gonna go sit on the stairs because there's good acoustics there. Oh, okay. That's why I sit to record videos sometimes. Okay. She has had bad luck with men in her past. Kessinger wants to find someone, and when she does, it turns out the guy is lying or something. Kessinger seems to take it upon herself and feels like she is picking the wrong guys. Well, I think, okay, anyway. Nelson encourages Kessinger that she will find someone. Nelson does not think the BS part in the text message was meant as a negative, and that Kessinger felt a guy having kids was a negative. Nothing is clear in this, not even these write-ups. Nelson did not think that Kessinger actually met the guy's kids. She had no idea when or where Kessinger and the guy hung out together. Nelson figured that if it was working out, she would hear more about the guy from Kessinger. Kessinger did not tell Nelson anything about the guy's wife in their texts. I asked how Kessinger is doing. Nelson told me that she is a mess. No shit. And said she cannot say much about the case. Nelson thinks Kessinger feels partially responsible, as maybe he went crazy because Kessinger came into the picture. Kessinger liked the guy. Nelson thinks Kessinger needs a good therapist. Kelly from What's the Obsession seconds that motion. Anyone else? Anyone else? Do we have anyone else supporting the motion that Nicole Kessinger needs a good therapist? Oh my God. I asked if there's any indication that Kessinger may want to maintain a relationship with the guy. Nelson said that Kessinger wants to cooperate in the fullest and make sure that he stays in jail. I thanked Nelson for her time, and she agreed to send me screenshots of her text with Kessinger. Nelson promptly got back to me on September 6th to provide. So now this is what Charlotte is saying to Agent Galbraith. Hi, Agent Galbraith. This is Charlotte Nelson. I'm looking through my phone at the latest text messages I have from Nikki. They start on August 21st, and we mostly talk about my dad passing away and my family issues, and also that she is concerned with the media. I probably deleted the whole conversation when Nikki asked me to delete the pictures we have together on Facebook because the media was calling her friends to get information. I know about the text messages we talked about, yes, because yesterday evening I got your voicemail, and when Nikki came over later that night, I told her you had called and that I wanted to verify that it was actually the CBI calling me and not a scammer trying to get information. I asked her why you would be calling me, and she said it could be because of the texts we exchanged, and then she showed me. I'm sorry I don't have any messages before that. Would you like me to still send you everything starting on August 21st? Also, I left you a voicemail regarding a question I have. My question is if the text messages you have are going to be made public matter. I'm so sorry. I shared very personal information about mine and my boyfriend's intimate life, and I'm concerned about what will be released. Please let me know or call me for any more questions. I responded. So now what I'm reading is CeCe Galbraith responding to Charlotte Nelson. Stick with me, guys. There's some good stuff coming up. Like really, like boom. Stick with me. I know this reading might be getting a little boring, but stay with it. Stand by on texts from the 21st. Let me consult my partner. Thank you for getting back to me on the matter. On September 7th, I attempted to clarify this with Nelson. I asked her what, so she says, okay, Charlotte Nelson, I'd like you to clarify this, what you said to me. Could you clarify this for me, Charlotte? Says Stacy, okay. So it's what she wants clarification on is Charlotte's statement stating this. I asked her why you would be calling me, and she said it could be because of the texts we exchanged, and then she showed me. I texted Nelson and called her. The phone went straight to voicemail like it was off. On September 7th, she responded. She showed me old text messages on her phone the night before last, which would be the 5th of September, when she was at my house. We had went to Verizon earlier on that same day so she could get a new phone since the one she had wasn't working very well. It must be that the messages were backed up and transferred to the new phone. Now, guys, how interesting is that? I wish I made a little visual timeline of CeCe Galbraith's communication with Charlotte Nelson and the activity that we know about Charlotte Nelson and Nicole Kessinger just based on this very small excerpt from Discovery. Because it's like this. On September 5th, CeCe Galbraith first contacts Charlotte Nelson about talking to her regarding Nicole Kessinger and, some ongoing case. Well, ain't it funny that very same day, later in the day, because she says evening, we had went to Verizon. Okay, so she's talking about the 5th. She showed me text messages on the 5th and says we had went to Verizon earlier on that same day so she could get a new phone since the one she had wasn't working well. It must be that the messages were backed up and transferred over to the new phone. What do you guys think about that? The very day that somebody comes, a law enforcement agent comes to one of Kessinger's friends and is looking to get answers about text messages between the two of them. Nicole Kessinger on the very day, same day, goes and gets a new phone. Sounds like more destruction of evidence. Frederick Police Department Detective Baumhover is in possession of the phone of Kessinger, and potentially the texts will exist in it upon execution of a search warrant. So let's see. Wait, hold it. Okay, this got a little confusing here. So, okay, let's figure this out with me because I had made a certain conclusion and now that I'm reading this again, I'm second guessing it, but I think there's a lot of good information here that we need to figure out. We need to straighten out. Yeah, think for yourself says law enforcement shouldn't have given back her custody of her phone in the first place before they got the information they needed. Oh my God, absolutely. It's crazy. They should have taken it like immediately. I don't know why okay, she's a protected witness. It all goes back to that. She was immediately a protected witness. I mean, why couldn't they could have gotten a warrant to take her phone that very same day she was doing the interview. It's done all the time. Like, why couldn't that have, I don't know. It's just so crazy. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Damn Skippy, Green-Eyed Bandit. Let's see. Yeah, Nancy Jones. Hi, Nancy. How are you? Says she talks way too much. She goes out of her way to explain things. Typical narcissist. Her voice tone is so fake. Absolutely. Yeah. I like this comment. I mean, so sad, but well stated. Lady Hawk says, NK said she did not put 2 and 2 together. Well, NK, like 2 and 2 equals 4, like the 4 people's lives you, NK, like helped destroy. Like, I know, right? It's so sad. I know, terribleness. Oh, let's see. Sorry. Oh, hello. Thank you very much. Let's see. Rowan Mays. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, so just a really quick note, like here's my thing about mentioning other creators by name on my channel. Like if we're talking about them and it's a good thing and someone's like, oh, hey, so-and-so did an awesome video and here it is. And, almost all of the time, I agree with you guys. Like if you like recommend things to me, I found a lot of great material taking your recommendations and thank you guys so much for that. And I always want to support other creators. I never want to shoot people down. I am not, one of those creators that it's like, me, I need it all. It's all for me. I just think that's so stupid. All of us make the world go round. Everyone has an important voice. Also, even if you're looking at the greedy side of things or, crunching numbers, guys, there's an unlimited number of views are going around. I mean, people are, if you're interested in a topic, they're interested in a topic, they're going to look up information on it. They're going to seek it from a number of sources. You all know that because you all do that and I do that. There's no reason for people to be selfish about, people watching only my content. I don't like to speak poorly of creators on this channel. It's really not my thing. There are a couple of creators that I've had interactions with, and that due to those interactions, I know have ill intent towards, the truth, the victims' families, the victims, or something like that. On a very limited basis when I need to talk about those things because I feel it's important to communicate to all of you guys what I do know so you can then use that information or include it in your analysis when you're making your best judgment about what content you're going to consume. I talk about it. I don't like to talk about it a lot because this channel is not about drama. It's about justice. It's about community. It's about communicating with each other and, looking at human behavior and situations and understanding that, because that's what I do. The channel that is in question is a channel that has done some very bad things. And a lot of people here have been here long enough to know about them, not just to myself, but to a lot of other people. And has proven himself to be dishonest and having bad intentions. So that's all that there is to it. So we just, we'll just leave it there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, good night, Liz Potter. Good night. Yeah, same. September 5th was a Wednesday. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Sub Rosa says, Reddit has information about our current whereabouts. I don't know if it's true or anything. I think I've taken in all that information. I mean, I followed it up to the best of my ability. And I got together with a couple other creators at some point and we kind of shared the work. Nobody legitimate has been able to find anything substantial that's been said about her current whereabouts. That's not to say it's not out there. been wrong before. I could be wrong again. I could possibly be wrong about that, but I think we've looked at it pretty thoroughly. Yeah, so she went for a new phone on September 5th. Bree McGee says she totally lied to the CBI agent saying that she didn't remember the sexual messages, but NK was over to her house the night before showing her the messages. Exactly. Good. So you pulled out one of the really blatant, obvious lies that lies within that report that CeCe Galbraith generated. Oh my gosh. So this is a part that I'm a little confused on. Let me know what you guys make of this, okay? So just this very end here, on September 7th, I attempted to clarify with Nelson why she said this. I asked her why you would be calling me, and she said it could be because of the text we exchanged, and then she showed me. I texted Nelson and called her. Phone went straight to voicemail like it was off. On September 7th, Nelson finally responded. She showed me the old text messages on her phone the night before last, September 5th, when she was here at my house. We had went to Verizon earlier on that same day so she could get a new phone since the one she had wasn't working well. It must have been that the messages were backed up and transferred over to the new phone. Okay? But then she says, oops. Frederick Police Department Detective Baumhover is in possession of the phone of Kessinger, and potentially the texts will exist in it upon execution of a search warrant. So the way I read this is like this, guys. On September 5th, Galbraith calls Nelson. Nelson, got to talk to you about Kessinger and some case, all right? Nelson pisses her pants, tells Nicole Kessinger, who I'm sure freaks out. Nelson doesn't call her back that day. CeCe Galbraith, I am assuming, waits a decent amount of time because she then says that she had to follow up with an additional text message on September 6th. At that point, Charlotte Nelson does get back to her. They have a conversation that is laden with lies, some of which CeCe Galbraith hands to Charlotte and says, "What the fuck is up with this?" And Charlotte's response lets us know that on September 5th, the same day that CeCe Galbraith contacted Charlotte Nelson and Nicole Kessinger, who in Charlotte's own words are best friends, but mostly through text, and they only see each other every 1 month or maybe every 2 months. On this day that CeCe Galbraith contacted Nelson to talk about Kessinger, it's one of those days out of the month or every 2 months that they happened to get together. And it just so happened it was on their agenda to go get Kessinger a new phone because the one that she had wasn't working very well. And then she says, it must be that the messages were backed up and transferred over to the new phone. Do you think by chance that line is included in her response to Galbraith? Because that is something that Nicole Kessinger explicitly asked Charlotte Nelson to tell law enforcement. Thank you, Nancy. Love you, honey. Linda Olson says, I would not dox her. Scott Reish knows, but won't dox her. Her new name, Scott Reish knows. Oh, that's your wedding anniversary, Anaphylaxis. Oh. Hi, Ashley Victoria. How are you doing? I'm glad that you're here, my friend. NK would be a great super criminal day, no doubt. Let's see here. Sis says, I would give anything to know the conversation behind the scenes. Like, did law enforcement really not catch any of these inconsistencies? Or did they agree to turn a blind eye? They must have agreed to turn a blind eye. suspicious because my God, if they didn't, listen, I'm fucking terrified about who is trying to maintain law and order in our society because they are a bunch of motherfucking idiots. I mean, you have to be absolutely nearly brain dead to not catch because the lies are just coming at you so fast. And oh my God, they're often so poorly constructed. And, not to mention the footage of her interviews, particularly the one from August 16th, when we can really watch her like head on from a frontal view, and all of both the verbal and nonverbal clear indicators of deception. Some of them I've talked about. I heard from you guys that the behavioral panel recently analyzed one of her videos. Is that true? I haven't even watched it yet because for those of you who don't know, am a behavioral therapist and I'm very well trained in all those nonverbal indicators of deception. And I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I could imagine that, I don't know, I teach some courses, like some college courses here, there sporadically, like, as a side thing sometimes on specific topics that I'm really well trained in. If I were to teach a course on identifying nonverbal indicators and signs of deception, I would absolutely use that video in my training. In fact, maybe I'm going to do that course and do exactly that because the material's already set up for you. It's truly remarkable. It's textbook. It truly is. I don't know. I can't say it enough. It's remarkable. DA just wanted to clean his numbers. Yes. Joan, hi Joan, welcome, says, good report from Agent Galbraith. I do think that Kessinger briefed her friend. Absolutely. She had some weird loyalty to her, even though she treated her like garbage, as we heard from Kessinger's own mouth when she was describing to Kobach in the video that we played earlier about the night that Charlotte Nelson's father died, and she was just all about herself. I mean, every time I've ever heard that, it's just made me so upset and angry. Mm-hmm. Kimberly welcome, how are you? Says, unbelievable how much this case was botched. Hopefully justice will prevail. Absolutely. Nobody knew this would be getting long-term scrutiny like this, says Linda. Yeah, that's totally true. But I mean, it just seems like, if your job is to interview people, to get to the bottom, to find the truth, to find deception, to, further investigate the deception so you can eventually get to more truth, and then write up a comprehensive and, complete and clear report on your findings. Agent after agent failed in this case. Truly, they did. I mean, I think you're talking about Rourke here. I mean, there's crime everywhere and everyone makes mistakes, but it's his attitude as well. We can't get them all, and you're just going to have to accept it because protected witness, junior detectives. Yeah, I know. I really not digging him either. And after listening to him speaking on his wife's podcast recently, I think our last Watts live stream was just about that. I am flabbergasted and more disgusted than ever. Like I've had to repress my gag reflex because it was in overdrive. Blech. Yeah. So Aunt Diane says, what gets me is how they keep redacting some of the discovery. Luckily, many of us downloaded parts of the old ones. That's right, Diane. And thank God for that, right? Kobach needs to go to one of my classes. I'm going to have to agree with you on that. I normally don't take the attitude, well, I can teach that person something, but I agree with you on that one. Yes, everybody, hey, please click like. And if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. We'd love to see you again. please do click like, that YouTube thing. It helps us out, and I really appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Green Eyed Bandit says, when my father passed away, I had a friend that literally drove to my house with nothing but a toothbrush and a 6-pack. I'm staying the night and I'm not leaving here by yourself. I had a number of friends stand up in like remarkable ways, with different details. And that's what friends do. The way that she reacted, Nicole Kessinger reacted to Charlotte Nelson, is not normal. It is not healthy. It is completely narcissistic. And the reason that's important is that it shows us that truly, truly, the only concern that woman has is about herself. If the only concern that woman has is about herself, and she can tell us about it in a heartless, callous way that makes you go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, again and again. When it concerns her very best friend and a conversation they had to have the very night, she says almost the moment that her father died, and she can't see past herself to show her best friend love and empathy and care, then in no situation she is in ever, in any arena and in any context, will she be looking out for anyone other than herself. Now, we could actually do a scientific analysis of this, because there are scales of empathy and indicators that so you can actually assign numbers and ultimately produce data, because I love my pie charts across a different number of or contexts and a range of interpersonal relationships, meaning, people that are closest to you, like family members, loved ones, husband, children, work associate, Facebook friend, whatever. And this can actually be measured. So I haven't done that work, but just being familiar enough with the topic, I feel very comfortable in saying what I've just said. And I think most of you, you don't need to be trained in behavioral anything to pick up on that, right? I think that our intuition is actually the most accurate above all things. Sometimes too much training, I think, can get in the way of your intuition. It can actually, kind of work in the wrong direction for you. So, all of us using our intuition is just as valid, in my opinion, as anyone who can. Well, I do love my pie charts, but data and intuition are both very valuable. Let's say that. I can't diss my pie charts, guys. I just can't. Stephanie, welcome. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Glad you're a member. And let me just make a little announcement once again at this point for those of you who weren't here earlier. So some new exciting things, especially for members. Starting for the first time on this Thursday, every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have a members-only live stream. So exciting. This is honestly the first time I've really been focusing on doing member benefits. And it's not because I'm not grateful, guys. I love you guys so much. It's just because running a channel by yourself is just a friggin' lot. All right. I wish this was my full-time job. I feel like I could do like so many cool things, but it's not. And then every Friday night, again, we're going to start doing just open live streams. Sometimes I do them on Friday nights. I haven't been quite as consistent as I was for a while. So Thursday night, members only live streams. Friday night, live streams for everyone. And I'm going to start uploading one members only content video once a week too, even if it's super short, just something for you guys to say thank you and to make your membership worthwhile. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate that. Oops. So she just was going to pin. Love this channel. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. Wait, Kimberly says, hi, Kimberly, welcome. How are you? Says, I know most deleted, but not all. So what exactly was NK signing if she deleted her text? What was she signing off to? I think just getting her phone in it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm looking. I think that I'm just, okay. So when she's signing that form in the one August 16th interview, they're talking about, talking about attempting to recover the text messages. So I think the idea is she's giving law enforcement her phone. They're going to use their software to recover what they can, because that's why they're at that particular police station. Remember, because Kevin Kovac says we don't have the equipment that we would need here to download, blah, 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 extract whatever from your cell phone. So I'm pretty sure that's what that's what she's signing off on. You guys are too funny. Oh, Green Eye Bandit, thank you so much. Just a thank you, Kelly and Mods. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Green Eye Bandit has been with us a long time. Nancy N, I think you get the award, is our longest running member. I love Nancy N. So happy she's here tonight. I wish she was around more, but she really is Watts obsessed. You're the best, Nancy. There ain't no one like my Nancy. Oh, thank you so much, Veronica. That's so nice. Interesting. Let's see. Oh, I'm just gonna call you Jay Boomer, okay? I don't like messing up people's names, but welcome. And it caught your comment caught my eye because you're talking about nonverbal indicators, I'm sure, of deception. Let's see what you said. I was very disappointed with nonverbal cues. 4 guys wrote dozens of books. Their analysis of Sammy from Kylie case came off as though they watched the basic course and were trying it out for the very first time. Were you talking about specifically? Are you talking about behavior panel? I've got to tell you this. I haven't watched the behavior panel's video on Nicole Kessinger, and I'm just going to tell you guys this. When I first saw that channel, I was really excited to watch it because I was currently in a degree program, finishing up my degree in applied behavioral analysis at the time, and I was like, oh my God, there's this channel that does like all that stuff that I've been studying and I'm really obsessed with, and I'm finally getting certified in. Before that, I was specializing in applied behavioral analysis as a special education teacher. So it was like a transition for me, right? And, I've seen some good videos of theirs, but there's only one way to say it. And listen, most of them have many more years experience, or at least some more years experience than I do. So who am I to say? And I might sound like an idiot just even saying this out loud, but I oftentimes do not agree with their analysis. And back, especially when I was finishing up my studies, I would actually go and, reference, these particular areas in the, Bible of behavioral studies or nonverbal communication, or whatever it was, things that are agreed upon in the profession to be tried and true and accurate. And many times I just didn't find them to be in line with what we accept in that field and what the behavior panel was saying. I love the idea, but I don't know. I just don't agree. Yeah. Conversations Unplugged says the more they take away from us, the more we'll dig and keep it going. And if they want us to go away, then just give up the info. Easy peasy. Then we'll leave everyone alone. Yeah. It's too bad they messed up in the first place, So Stephanie says, me too, Kelly. I think agreeing about the behavior panel. So I don't mean to be a jerk saying that, but it's just my opinion. Leave Jim alone. And now Rourke wants to be left alone. Oh yeah. He literally said that when he was speaking in his wife's podcast that we listened to during the last live stream. So, she did this. She didn't do this. She did this. Leave me alone. Wow. Spoken like a real professional. Welcome, NK Villaverde. How are you? Welcome. Thanks for being here. I was interrogated by the cops in a case that I was far removed from, and they were not this accommodating. Why do they seem to just trust NK? I'm going to come back to that in a minute here. Kim A says, Kelly, your reactions are spot on, and thanks for keeping it real. I appreciate that, Kim. Thank you. Sub Rosa says about the behavior panel, I don't agree with their analysis either. If you have seen Deception Detectives, he is way better. I didn't even know that was a channel. So everybody, let's together check out Deception Detective. I'm going to check that out sometime this week. Thank you so much. Wow, I can't believe all you guys agree with this. I thought people are going to be like not liking that. I agree with you 100%. I stopped watching their stuff because it is a little too dramatized. Like, not every blink means something. You know what? That's one of the problems I have is when people really are just doing normal, completely baseline stuff as they themselves have established in that same video. They then call it out as being an indicator of deception. And I just wish I could pop in the live stream or whatever they're doing and be like, wait a minute. I am the behavioral analysis police. Stop what you're doing. Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. That is not an indicator of deception. You know, but I can't. Yes. So Green Eye Bandits asks, Kelly, wouldn't you have to know somebody's behavior before you questioned their behavior? Like everybody has different mannerisms, just asking for a friend. Yes, it's called determining a baseline. And you have to do it scientifically through usually best practice being through observation, you know, across a number of different settings. And across time, if you have the liberty to do all of that observation up front. Like when I do a behavioral, an FBA or like a functional behavior analysis for a student I work with, that's what I try to do. I don't want to observe them in just one setting at one time of the day with one teacher. I want to observe them in a number of classes while they're in the cafeteria, while they're at gym, while they're in math, a class that they hate, while they're in, history, a class that they love, when they're unmonitored by adults across time, and put all of that together, do your, crunch the data with the, analysis functions that we have learned to be true and come up with numbers that represent something that are reliable. Yes. Sorry, I'm getting geek. Yeah. So, hi, Shannon. How are you? Says, I just came in, so not sure if you showed it, but the other night I discovered NK says, I miss you when she's alone in the interview with a gray sweater. I'll get the timestamp, but I think it's over an hour in. You know what? I was looking for a few of the things that she says under her breath for this video this evening. I couldn't find it in enough time. That is one of them. And another time, she's looking through her phone when she's in the room alone, and she's like, she's like, oh my God, I found it. She's like furiously looking through her phone for something. And then she exclaims under her breath, I got it. Right. So I'm going to have to come up with those and find them for you guys. Okay. So Stephanie agrees that Deception Detective is a great channel. So we're all going to check it out and give them some love. Mia says, I don't like the behavioral panel after their bunk analysis of the Summer Wells case. Just my opinion, allegedly. I didn't see that. I didn't really follow the Summer Wells case all that much, but there was something about it that just, I felt like I couldn't get too close to it. That was really upsetting to me. Sometimes that happens, but yeah. Yeah, Sub Rosa agrees they dropped the ball in Summer Wells case. Let's see. DD doesn't believe in behavioral analysis as being reliable. Interesting. Like what aspects? I'm going to have to watch it. This is very interesting. Thank you guys for telling me about this and having this conversation. This is like feeding my nerd monster right now. Oh, thank you, Green Eye Bandit. Thank you. If I didn't know the answer, I'd say I don't know the answer. But that answer I definitely do know because I do it all the time. Her baseline is like. Oh, hey, thank you. Okay, thank you. Do you guys want to watch that? Anaphylaxis says, as a police officer, picking up on behaviors can save your butt. Thank you, Anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is a retired police sergeant, right? And whenever she chimes in with her professional wisdom, I am like so excited. Give me more, Anna, give me more. Thank you so much. You're the best. Oh, cool. I can't wait to watch it. Okay. So let's see. We were just told, Shannon just told us where she says, I miss you. It's an hour and 39 minutes in. So, hey, why not? Let's go ahead and just watch that. The video is trying to upload for you. It's like I need to make sure I do those earlier in the day when I have a live stream, because it's like right around that evening time, like a few hours before my live streams, they start like processing super slow, I guess, because everyone in my neighborhood is home and on their internet or something. I don't know. Like if I do them during the middle of the day, they fly by, they go really fast. But I zoomed in and tried to clarify the picture for you so we could like see her as much as possible as we were watching it. But I'll try to put that out in a separate video since it wasn't ready for tonight. But let's go to an hour, 39 minutes in and see what we hear. I was going to cover some other topics tonight, guys. I always do this. I always overload my projected topics for my live streams. And I'll touch on them briefly, but we'll then have to go over them the next time because we got pretty deep into this one. But there's so much to go over. All right, so I'm starting at 1:38 and 50 seconds. Let me bring it into the stream. And thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all of you guys. There's going to be a members only live stream for the very first time, I think, on this Thursday at 9 p.m. There's going to be a live stream for everybody this Friday at 9 p.m. And that's when we're going to have the 2 cash drawings to say thank you for being awesome and for being here. And all you have to do is be here in the chat. I'm going to need 2 moderators to help me out with that. Who would like to do it? Let me know. Who would like to do it? Thank you so much. And moving forward, we're going to stick with that Thursday members only live stream Friday. Everyone's welcome to the live stream schedule. And there'll be more live streams sprinkled in there as well. Also every week. I usually definitely always do an upload every week unless there's like something crazy going on in my life. And I'm going to do at least, I've made a commitment to do at least one, even if it's a short one, members only upload a week as well, to say thank you for supporting the channel. Oh, and make sure your, accept gifted memberships thing is on, because I don't know, maybe the membership gift fairy is going to come back around. Who knows? And congratulations to all of you that got one earlier. Okay. Oops. All right. Okay. Whoa, where's the volume? Oh, here. Okay, so I just went through 139 the minute. I may have been a little off there, but I don't want to fish around trying to find too much. Thank you, though, for giving us that reference. But I'm going to find those things that she said under her breath, and I'll put them in a video for you guys, I promise, because there's a few good ones, and I want you guys all to hear them, because, like, whoa. Oh, wait, since we're right here, watch how Kessinger behaves with these women as compared to how she does with Kevin Kobach. And I want to emphasize women because on at least 2 occasions, I just noticed this tonight, actually, Kevin Kobach refers to Tammy Lee and this other person, is this Stacey Galbraith, It's girls, which not cool, Kevin. Not cool. Kevin, I'm starting to feel like you're not cool in any regard.
Does Hazel need to?
Yeah, we're gonna see if Hazel comes in. So Weld County's just, I had to write a letter yesterday for Weld County to approve, to pay for her treatment.
Oh.
And then it's gotta go through a board because it's kind of unusual,
Yeah.
since she's not an eyewitness.
Right.
But it sounded like there was not gonna be any opposition to it. It's just a process.
Yeah.
Wait, dude, oh, I never heard that before. Did you hear that? What? Oh my God. Oh, wait, this is the very beginning of the video. How to go back? I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad it did because did you hear that? He just said I had to write a letter so Weld County can pay for her therapy or whatever, her treatment. It's It's like a difficult thing. I'm paraphrasing. We're gonna listen to it again because it's not a typical situation because she's not an eyewitness. I never even heard that before. What the? Wow. Okay. Listen.
Hi. Hello, Nikki.
This is
Yeah.
Tammy.
Tammy.
Come in,
Nice to
Stacy.
meet you. Yeah, I'm Stacy Galbraith.
Stacy and
Nice to meet
Tammy.
you. How are you doing? All right. Getting through it. Trying. Yeah.
Stressing out.
Stressing out. Yeah, you look stressed out. Did you get some therapy figured out? I'm waiting for you guys to get back to me on that, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Hazel need to?
Yeah, we're gonna see if Hazel comes in. So Weld County's just, I had to write a letter yesterday for Weld County to approve, to pay for her treatment.
Oh.
And then it's gotta go through a board because it's kind of unusual,
Yeah.
since she's not an eyewitness.
Right.
But it sounded like there was not gonna be any opposition to it. It's just a process.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you go through the text messages, Tammy and probably Stacy will be there,
Okay.
so you guys know each other.
Well, wait, I want to stop and ask a question. Because, hey, Kevin, you bring up a really good point. So he says, I had to write a letter to Weld County to pay for her treatment because it's not a typical situation because she's not an eyewitness, kind of half-ass air quotes. Right, because what other kind of witnesses, maybe Anaphylaxis, you could answer this for us, are there other than eyewitnesses? If you're a witness to something, doesn't that usually mean that you have seen it happening or heard it happening? She had done none of those. Yet, from the beginning, she was a protected witness. Wow. It's wild. Let's see, who's this? Whoops. Hey. Whoops. Letitia, welcome, says she was given full crime victim treatment from the Crime Victim Crisis Center. God damn. It's just wow. That's crazy. I knew they were giving her research. I just had never heard him actually say that before. Like, oh, that's just, wow. See, every freaking time we watch this stuff. Yay, Jay Boomer. Thanks for becoming a member. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here and for your contributions tonight. I appreciate you. Wow. I don't know. Let's just play this, see what else happens and how she treats the women as opposed to Kevin Kovac, or how she behaves in front of them, I should say.
Or if they reach out to you, you know that they're not the media.
Yeah. Can you guys give me your cards?
Yeah,
before you leave? I
sure.
got everyone. Okay. I just,
Thank
now
you.
with this new phone, it's like I got so many numbers that I'm sure I can figure out the way out of it. I need to just deal with that. Like, if you guys can help me get all of my contacts from this phone.
So I can get a tech guy maybe to help me, because I'm bad at it
You gave
too.
me instructions
So
on.
this is your old phone?
This is the one that I use for communication. This is the one that's going to you guys.
Okay.
This one's mine.
This
now.
is nicer.
I know. iPhones suck. I'm
I
kind
know.
of relieved to have this back.
Okay, so you want to move contacts from there to there?
That's all I want to do. Once you guys do that, then you guys can have this phone. I mean, he gave me a way to do it, so I think I need to connect to Wi-Fi, and then I need to download this app, and then I think once I download it, I can sync it up. And I need to just download the app on both phones.
So let me get a guy who knows about Wi-Fi. Is your password still 653038?
Oh my God. Wow. Mine is blown. Yeah, exactly. Same, Green-Eyed Bandit. I just had never heard that before. Oh my God, my jaw is on the floor. I don't know about y'all. Yeah, me too. I just never heard that said before. And Shannon, no worries, totally. I figured that's what happened because depending on where you pull it from, there might be a little introduction or something. So all good. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, though. I'll know about where to find it now. And that's super helpful. I appreciate it. And Jay Boomer, no worries that you're just learning about NK. Everyone is welcome here. It doesn't matter when you learned about the case. You know, you're interested in it. You're here. We're talking about it. It's awesome. If you want to know everything you need to know about NK that is factual and actual, this is where you're going to find it. A couple other channels will have the same. A lot of channels will not. So just watch your sources. That's all I'm saying because I care about you. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. And Anaphylaxis says, who is our actual official law enforcement person here, her witness status makes no sense to me. In my opinion, she is suspect number 2. Exactly. And how they arrived at that so quickly. Oh my gosh, April, I'm so sorry to hear that. My daughter was murdered here in Reno, Nevada last March. Oh, April, I'm so sorry. Under the Victims of Violent Crime program in Nevada, we get $5,000 for therapy. I haven't used it. Oh, do you think you need to use it? Do you talk to somebody? I'm really sorry. That's so terrible. Well, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm really sorry for your loss, and I hope that your heart is healing. Oh. And clearly a lot of people in chat are saying the same. Yeah. Oh. Anaphylaxis says, NK is no victim, in my opinion. That's right. No, she's not. And thank you for that. Lynn Goslin says, I do not think she was in a crime protection situation, honestly. So you're saying she wasn't like under witness protection? I don't think she was officially under witness protection. I'm not exactly sure what her deal was, but ooh. Okay. Green Eye Bandit says, we all learn something new every day if we keep our minds and eyes out and our hearts open. I'm just jaw dropping. Please, can I rewind that and play it one more time? Yes, you're bugging out. Let's hear it again. Okay. Neither Green Eyed Bandit or I had ever heard this said explicitly before, and it's pretty remarkable.
I can't even find the app store on this phone.
I can't even find the app store on this phone. Just the way she talks to him.
Strange. I tried to transfer all the stuff from this phone to this phone last night and started syncing up like old text, like stuff I don't even have saved in here.
Or any of them from Chris?
Yeah, a few, but not many. It's pretty short. There's like 10 or 12, and there's like a few from those days, but most of it is. Hi. Hello.
Nikki. Yeah. Tammy.
Tammy.
Nice to
meet you.
Yeah, I'm Stacey Galbraith.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing?
All right.
Getting through it?
Trying.
Yeah.
Stressing out.
Stressing out. Yeah, you look stressed out. Did you get some therapy figured out?
I'm waiting for you guys to get back to me on that, but I'm trying.
It'll help. Yeah. Does Hazel need to?
Yeah, we're gonna see if Hazel comes in. So Weld County's just, I had to write a letter yesterday for Weld County to approve, to pay for her treatment.
Oh.
And then it's gotta go through a board because it's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
Since she's not an eyewitness.
Right.
But it sounded like there was not gonna be any opposition to it. It's just a process.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you go through the text messages, Tammy and probably Stacey will be there.
Okay.
So you guys know each other. Or if they reach out to you, you know that they're not the media.
Yeah. Can you guys give me your cards?
Yeah.
Really, I got everyone.
Okay.
Thank
now
you.
with this new phone, it's like I got so many numbers that I'm sure I can figure out the way out of it. I need to just deal with that. Like if you guys can help me get all of my contacts from this phone.
So I can get a tech guy maybe to help me because I'm bad at it
Give
too.
me instructions.
So this is your old phone?
This is the one that I use for communication. This is the one that's going to it.
Okay.
This one's mine.
This is nicer.
I know. iPhones suck. I'm kind of relieved to have this back.
Okay, so there it is. You heard it again, Green Eye Bandit. I know. I'm a little mind blown too. It's crazy. So Kimberly A asks, exactly why is NK under so-called witness protection? Well, here's like what I'm referring to. I'm not sure if, I hope this is your question. This is how I read it. If I didn't get it right, sorry. So on page I don't know what it is. And I've gone over this so many times. I don't know. When I came across this, maybe it was a year and a half ago, I literally hadn't heard anyone talk about it yet. I think it was very I feel like a lot of people weren't so aware of it because I think a lot more people would have been talking about it. That was just my opinion, but I've given it a lot of attention and research in a number of different ways and talked about a number of different videos, and we can do it again. But right now, I just want to show you there are a lot of significant things about this form itself, okay? But for right now, since we're getting towards kind of the end of this live stream, we're looking at Federal Bureau of Investigations collected item log. It is an evidence entry, a recorded interview of Nicole Kessinger. And the person who drafted this was Philip Jones. Gives the case ID and the description of the case. Collected from Special Agent Philip Jones, FBI. Okay. Then it says details. Recorded interview of Nicole Kessinger. In parentheses here, and in capital letters, protect identity. On August 15th, 2018. Again, the details say recorded interview of Nicole Kessinger, protect identity in capital letters on August 15th, 2018. Then it says recorded interview of Nicole Kessinger collected on, it says August 15th, 5:36 p.m. And blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh my gosh, I forgot to point this out in the video I made too. Okay. Surveillance starts on 8:15 and it ends on 8:15 because after the time, okay, Tony Husky, the security manager at Anadarko, called law enforcement around 5 a.m. on August 15th, 2018, when he found the emails between Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts from their work email. At that time, at around 5 a.m. on August 15th, he reported to law enforcement that he suspected that Chris Watts was having a relationship with another employee. And this is the employee's name. I will forward you the emails upon approval from our legal department. Okay. On that same day, Chris Watts underwent the polygraph examination several hours later. And then on that same day, several hours later, during the course of the polygraph exam or towards the end of the polygraph exam, as it was told most accurately, probably around the hour approaching noon, Nicole Kessinger contacted law enforcement. So the time and date stamp here is August 15th, that same day that I'm talking about right now, at 5:36 p.m. At that time, she was already identified as being a witness whose identity should be protected as indicated on this form only 2 days after the murders. And, really right around contemporaneous with the time. Well, no, Chris Watts had not even given his partial confession yet because that didn't come until 10 or 11 p.m. that evening. So she was considered to be a witness with protected identity before Chris Watts even gave any kind of confession. The timing is just really it makes no sense. It's so questionable. No one has ever answered to it. And to the point that many of you have made at various times throughout this video, through your comments, the fact that Rourke blows it off as being a bullshit question that's only an annoyance by these junior detectives who think they know so much, but they really don't. Boo boo. So leave me alone. Is just repulsive. I truly hope someday they find some kind of wrongdoing legally in this case, and he is sanctioned for the way that he has carried out his duties or not carried out his duties as it pertains to the prosecution, the full prosecution to the fullest extent of all persons involved in the tragic death of pregnant Shanann Watts, Bella Watts, CeCe Watts, and unborn baby Nico, because he has not done so yet. Thank you. I do try to tell a side of it. I appreciate that. That's a big compliment to me. I appreciate it. Yeah, they were totally flirting with each other. Yuck, it's disgusting. Kovac and Kessinger. Green Eye Bandit says, Kelly, did you notice when the two ladies came in and Kay puts her hands under the table? That's right, because she has something to hide and she knows that they might spot it. She's become very comfortable with Kevin Kovac. This is how I read that. So she's like, she can kind of like be above board, above the table, so to speak. When they come in, it's a threat to her. And so she has something to hide, so she's hiding it. Yeah. Conversations Unplugged says a lot less chatty and dismissive of the girls for sure. Yes. Yes. Great question, Joan. Says, whoops, what happened there? Okay. Of course, that is the question. Perhaps law enforcement thought they would have to rely on her testimony before he pled. Just wondering whether they intended to investigate further at the same time. Great, great question. That's a really insightful, smart question. Yeah. Cecile, very interesting. To seek and beg for therapy was her ultimate tool to prove her innocence to Ellie. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the icing on the cake, maybe, right? Yeah. Yep. Once she left, the ladies left, she puts her hands back up on the table. That's right. Because, yep, she's not threatened by them. That's exactly it. Yep. Yep. Starts controlling the situation. Oh my God. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You got it, girl. Absolutely. Yep. Yep, that's right, Jesse. Yep. Yeah, anaphylaxis. It's like she flips a switch. It's so bizarre. And that's what shows us that she is very, she's very seasoned in the way she behaves in her manipulation tactics. Another indicator that she's a true narcissist, which is another indicator that everything that she does, you better believe that she's looking out for nobody other than herself. No victim, the law, justice, nothing. She looks out for Kessinger. Oh, April, that's so sweet. April thanks everybody for their kind words. She says, we are lucky to have her girls. Oh, I cannot imagine Shanann's parents' grief, losing their daughter and granddaughters. Justice for them. Nicole is so guilty. Oh, bless your heart, April. Thank you so much for sharing with us, guys. And so wonderful your support. How can you not? You got our support, girl. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Walk away, Renee. Well, walk away, Renee. Welcome. How are you? Says, how could they have determined so quickly that she had nothing to do with this in 2 days? Yeah, that's the question, right? How? Yeah. Oh, I live about 15 minutes from Shanann's parents. Eventually, I'll go to the cemetery to honor Shanann and the girls. Oh, that's beautiful. Totally repulsive DA. He's up for election again. Just we worked this out during the last live stream. Apparently, he has one more term that he's eligible for. Unfortunately, the term that he's in right now, he ran and quote unquote won uncontested, no competitor. Oh, good night, Veronica. Thanks for being here. No, she does not like other women. No. Good night, Jay Boomer. Thanks for being here. Come again soon, please, and thanks for becoming a member. She does love herself, Pumpkin. In one of the interviews, he says, well, he met a fucking amazing woman. Right. Yeah, I know. She kind of she slips a little bit and lets the world know that how well she thinks of herself. And then Amaya points out, NK says in one interview that Chris Watts will do anything she tells him to. Yep. See, she slips. Yep, that's right. Okay, so just to wrap this up, oh my gosh. So something that I want you to take away from today class is, let me bring it back up. And I meant to talk about this a little more, but we'll revisit it and you can think about it for yourself too, without me influencing your opinion. Because I'm an opinion influencer. Let's see. No. No. Let's close that. Let's see, my friends. Oh, here it is. Shoot-poo. Just 1 second. Sorry. Where is that? Purple. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, come on. Why'd you just do that? No. What? This is the weirdest thing. I don't know what's happening here. Oh, I must have closed it. Good Lord, me. Okay, it's okay. I'm not going to put up the screen. This is too hard for me right now. Is that in his report that relates to the interview that we watched an excerpt of earlier, the August 26th interview, which is the last of the 5 interviews between Nicole Kessinger and law enforcement that we know of. Sharing was canceled. Okay, got it. Nicole Kessinger and Kevin Kobach discuss and affirm during the course of their conversation that we listened to that Kessinger and her best friend, Charlotte Nelson, had only one text conversation, one text exchange about Chris Watts that happened over the range of one day. Just one day, one conversation. CeCe Galbraith gives us great detail into this conversation that happened on August 12th, 2018. What's significant about August 12th, 2018? Shanann, Celeste, Bella, and unborn baby Nico were killed on August 13, 2018. Isn't it curious, A, that Nicole Kessinger, for the first time, tells her friend about her hot and heavy boyfriend thing just hours before they're murdered? Just hours before they're murdered. According to her and both Chris Watts, they'd been dating for about 6 weeks. 6 weeks passes by. Nicole Kessinger does not tell her best friend about her new booty, her new muse, the man she's so super into, she has the best sex with ever. And then on August 12th, 2018, hours before the murders, right, basically almost at the moment, her best friend's father dies. Opportune moment. That is when Nicole Kessinger tells her best friend Charlotte Nelson about her boyfriend. What? How strange is that? Right? Guys, seriously, doesn't that cause you to question, like, what the fuck? I mean, for 6 weeks, and Kay doesn't say boo. And this girl talks about herself, and we know that. Doesn't say a damn thing to her best friend about Chris Watts. And then the day before, hours before the murders, at the worst time ever, when Charlotte, I'm sure the first thing she said was, oh my God, my dad died. She decides to launch into, her disclosure about her new boyfriend and how he likes to eat her out. And no guy she's been with ever before has done that. And all this, oh my God. So what was so important to Nicole Kessinger to tell that she felt that was I feel like there was something she had to tell her best friend about him that day, right? And why was that? That's my question. And also important is when Kevin Kobach generates his report about their conversation during the interview that we watched an excerpt of earlier. He reports that the text exchange between Kessinger and Charlotte Nelson is on August 7th. Now, we didn't watch the whole interview, but we have watched it before and dissected it during the live chat. And we did know that during the course of that interview, there are several times that Nicole Kessinger tells Kevin Kobach something, and he takes her word for fact on the spot without asking for supporting evidence or doing further research. And then, includes it as a new fact, and, they're conversing with one another, and also in his notes. So do you think that perhaps Nicole, because remember the dates were all messed up on her text messages. Do you think that maybe she told Kevin Kovac that those text messages were actually a week before they really were, because she knew that it was super weird that she finally told her best friend all about Chris Watts just hours before the murders, in the worst timing ever, the moment that her best friend's father dies? I think that there's a lot more to look into there, and we've uncovered some of it, but there's more to uncover, and we'll definitely continue to talk about that. Jesse asked, Green Eye Bandit, do you think there was an actual test conversation between them, or do you think she created with her second phone? So it looked like she has a friend. That's very interesting, because Stacey Galbraith notes in her notes that, it's really confusing, because it looks like the text between NK and Charlotte is from number 720 redacted, but then other times it looks like it's from number 9000 and another series of numbers, and it's all very confusing. And that's the only time in the discovery there's any kind of question as to the source of a phone number, or who a phone number is connected to, or what phone number is connected to whom. It's all extremely shady, unclear, and certainly would not stand as evidence that could not be shot down if this were to have gone to trial. It would not stand the scrutiny of, say, cross-examination. Seriously. It was an interesting question. Sure was. Thank you, Jesse. Yes, right. That's right. Walk away. Renee highlights an important point here that we kind of brushed by. Thank you for bringing it to the forefront again, because it's very important. She never told law enforcement about those conversations. They found them and confronted NK about the text with Charlotte. Yes, Kovac specifically states that. Yep. It was somebody else who found those texts, and that's why he's asking about it. That's right. Thank you. Yeah. Super sus. All right, guys. Yeah, so please, I'm going to wrap things up, but thank you guys so much for being here. It was a great conversation. Awesome chat tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Hi, Gail and Carrie Gardner. How are you doing? Welcome. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. She's probably out there living her best life. Oh my God. Was she trying to create an alibi? That's a really good question. Hey, I hadn't even thought of that. Good question, Amaya. Wow. So yeah, on your way out, guys, please click like. That's all I ask. And remember, coming up this week, we are starting for the very first time actual membership stuff. We're gonna have members only live on Thursday night at 9 p.m. I'm gonna do that every week. If for some reason I can't, I'm gonna try my best to give you at least 2 days notice and when it's rescheduled. But I'm gonna try to stick to it. And then this Friday night at 9 p.m. we're gonna have a open live stream for everybody. Come along. And that's when we're going to do our 2 cash drawings, just to say thank you. One for anybody who's in chat. Just be in chat and you'll be entered. And then one for members who are in chat. So that's going to be a much smaller pool. So you have a really good chance of winning that. I think they're going to be $50 or 50 or 100. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know on Friday. And I haven't done one of those in a while. So it's definitely time. Love to give back to you guys because I appreciate you so super much. And yeah. Oh, anaphylaxis. What time zone? I'm in New York. Yeah. Sorry about that. Whoops. Yes. So yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern. So it's when it's 9 p.m. here in New York, that's when it'll happen. So I hope that's a good time for you guys. If that's a bad time for people, you can just let me know and I can try to do live streams earlier in the day. I tried that a couple times and they weren't really well attended, but it was I only did them once or twice. And sometimes you have to create a new pattern, right? So I can be flexible. I'm totally open to that. Yeah. Thanks for being here, everybody. Love you guys. Thank you so much, moderators. You are the bomb. Love you guys so much. Yes. McJ is wonderful. I don't know what I would do without McJ. Yeah. So I'm going to do a community post in just a couple minutes about the new things going on with the channel. Yeah, and also I got new audio equipment. Didn't use it tonight because I left it at work. I went shopping and just left it there, and some other new things just to try to enhance your experience. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, everyone. Everybody, please stay safe. Lock your windows, lock your doors. I just installed my new security cameras because I don't know, I've just had this creepy feeling recently and I felt like I should. I'm glad I did. I feel better about it. Just so you know, I got a whole security camera system that's connected. Well, my mom actually got it for me for Christmas. But I know I don't know, it was connected to what are those things called? Not an Alexa, but like the one you can actually look at. I don't know. She got everything with 4 really good cameras, and it, gives me alerts on my phone and everything for less than $150, and even the little screen that you can view it on at home. So, if you're feeling like, oh my God, it's too expensive, I can't really invest in that. I mean, I know the $150 isn't just, pocket change, but your safety is important. So I just want to let you know that I always thought, because I've only never had my Ring Cam, and I've had that. I got that actually after my crazy, super scary, supernatural Watts incident. Oh, that I've talked about before again, but I was so scared I went out and got a Ring camera the very next day. Anyway, so it was a little more affordable than I thought it was. I want you all to be safe. And most of all, guys, life is so hard. Please be good to each other. And most of all, take care of yourself because you absolutely deserve it. Aw, 2 pit bulls. They're such little babies. Oh, attack chihuahua. That's so great. Oh, I used to have pit bulls. I miss them. I did feel so safe when I had them. When I lived in Philadelphia, I lived in Center City, Philadelphia. I had my 2 pit bulls, and I'd walk down the street, and it was like the Red Sea parting. It was wonderful. Like nobody wanted to be near those dogs. I was good with that, but they were wonderful to anybody I wanted to be near. Yeah. Oh crap! I was gonna play an outro, but I can't because it gets me a copyright. They have these new music copyright things that are a little difficult to navigate, so I'm working that out. So I'm just gonna say, love y'all. Be safe. Please come back again this week. Can't wait to see you. You guys were amazing, and I have such a good chat. And I will see you soon.